so I'm gonna try this premise here, and let's see if this resonates with some folks. Hi, I am, and what I'd like to share with you today is Aaron's retraction from this scenario. I'll tell you why Aaron is stepping back. I I've been told that Aaron is an intelligent individual. I've been told that Aaron is um, doesn't matter after that when you have people of the sorts of doctors and lawyers and professionals telling you, "Damn, boy, you pretty smart. I think I think you have more sense than I do. I think you have more knowledge, more wisdom, more intellect than I do as a professional who's trying to give you some advice about whatever the matter is that you are here for. You're giving me clarity. Wow, my goodness, sir, what are you doing these tasks and chores for your daily routine? Why aren't you? I do take the what's the word accountability for the things that I've done in my existence, but I'll say I've been doing some deep spiritual searching here recently, trying to see how deep it really goes, and a lot of it is uh, Aaron tapped out years ago because intelligent black men aren't received well in North America in this time zone, time frame. It was one thing. I was born mid '80s. It was one thing that, like, my mother will tell folks. She told folks, used to tell, still tell them, I'm not gonna let the streets get my babies. I'm not gonna let the streets get my boys. The mid '80s, the crack epidemic, the drugs and all that shit, the gang violence, the Crips and the Bloods was rampant. Even out in rural, like Caswell County, we had guys clicked up, ganged up, Crips, Bloods, Subaru. What? Come on, man, what you talking about, bro? We out here in the sticks, deer hunting, squirrel hunting. You talking Crips and Bloods, gangs and shit? Come on, bro. So you're told to stay away from gangs and affiliations and stuff like that, and then when you go to school, you see that racism is strong in America, very rampant, and it's so many things that childhood destroyed for Aaron, and still every day we rise. We say we're gonna go out here and try it again. It's only so many times you get kicked in the gut and you keep getting up, and some of you all keep getting up, getting back in the game, and I keep laughing like, why are you getting in the game? You're injured. Oh, well, that's what you got to do. No, that's not what you have to do. That's what they program you to think, and as long as you do it, you're going to have to do it. I've been in some situations here recently, with just life, right? I ain't gonna go too deep into it in this, but I guess the gist of it is I'm a little limited at some of the things I can do, will do, and like that type of thing. Physical abilities, mental abilities, and willingness to do some of these things. I have to own that. But the more I think about and look and search, I remember the last quote unquote job that I had. I was replaced by a underexperienced white guy. Lenovo up there in Whitsett, North Carolina. I was working there, and then they hired this little. They fired the black guy, and before the black guy left, he did tell me, he was like, watch your back, black people, they don't stay long back here in this department. And I, whatever. Hey, you know, I did what I had to do, and I was who I was. But like the situations leading up to my termination, ridiculous. Um, but it was the fact that they after I had my panic attack and had to get the situation taken care of, like they had this white guy, they hired this white guy, and basically after we got him trained up to speed, they let me go and gave him the job and said that I had a lack of motivation on my job. I was the one snatching work from the girl that was training him. She had to beg me to give her the work so that they would have something for him to train on. And you said lack of motivation. I was the one that when he was ready to, like, end himself in some manners of speaking, kind of gave him some inspiration. Hey, you worried about this, that, and the third, work with what you got. You worried about housing and stuff like that. You thinking about, you got to live in the Hillsboro type of area, bro. You not making that kind of money. You down here in Burlington. You need to look. He was like, oh, yeah, you're right. I was like, the cost of living down here, you can get something on the top end for what you was going to pay for a low end. Then he was like, yeah. And so, like, how you going to tell me I'm not motivated? I left a job that I was being harassed at, and had some injuries. I left that job to come to this job where I'm getting an additional $5 an hour to do basically nothing. The way it was structured in there, I would bring crafts, and they said you can't be on your cell phone. I'd wrap crystals. They at one point I got bored with that. I was doing other stuff. I was begging for work. Let me sweep. No, don't sweep. Let me do this. No, don't. But they said lack of motivation when they fired me. I'm begging y'all for work. I'm stealing work while the girl's on lunch break, and y'all say I ain't motivated. But the white boy, he motivated, right? That boy didn't even want to be there. He would say that. But it's cool though. So y'all think I'm ready to go back in that off-sided industry, the work industry, and have to fight for that right now? I don't have it in my spirit. I don't. Your boy is tired. He's drained. He's depleted. And what little bit I do have left, that's my reserve, and that's what keeps me functioning right now. Man, this is all the hair I got. My hair, even 10 years ago, 11 years ago when we buried my daddy, but my hair was like down in my lap. I would be sitting on my locks right now. And after the shoulder injury, not being able to maintain a joint, and it was a drastic reduction in pay accommodations from going from making what I think I was making about $18 an hour out there at GKN leadership position, and that was on the low side because they had them other boys making better than that, right? And I'm leadership, and they making better than me on crew, and the other leaders was making better than me and didn't deserve it, right? Not no more than I did, right? But the issues with the hair policy, right? And I was the only one that got written up, and they cleared the whole building and made everybody get into code, and HR walked out and didn't see no violations, and they let that shit slide. And that wasn't even because I'm black. It was young, black, knowledgeable, strong, strong-minded, well-spoken, strong-spoken. Like I stood up for what's right. Like they didn't like all that shit. They thought I wanted their jobs. I didn't. I just want to exist, and I enjoyed what I was doing. I enjoyed the people more than I enjoyed the job. But the job was easy. When I left, they had 2 people doing my job, and both of them said, hey, we can't keep up with what you used to do by yourself, and you made that shit look easy. You was always standing around talking to us. That's all we seen you, standing around talking to the women. Because I'm efficient. So you want me to go back into the workplace and fight this kind of harassment and discrimination, and with the psychological that my fucking hair is gone anyway, so I don't even have it to. So that's just kind of like where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't saying I'm in a good place. I ain't saying I'm in a bad place. I'm just saying I'm where I'm at. And I don't really give a fuck. And I'm supposed to want to go out here in this environment and compete for a job with white folks that don't even, they'll tell you they don't even want the shit. They just doing it just because. I'm supposed to go out and compete and have less of an opportunity of success just because of the color of my skin. Then we take off a demerit for my hair, and then we take off a demerit for my physical disability, and then we take off for my PTSD, my mental disability, and then, boy, shit, my list was short of where I wanted to be at anyway, because certain type of people I can't be around, and now we want to make it even shorter. Hey, I'm just saying, I don't have it in me to keep playing the game and keep like going the back and just going through that. I would not mind doing some things for gainful employment, but like that regular 9 to 5 check in every day to have somebody question everything you do. My last leadership position, they brought me off the crew and said, we're going to give you a leadership position, and then they questioned everything I did. You moved me up in the ranks because you like the way I operate and you like the way I conduct myself, and now you're going to question what I do? That's why you put me here. It's because you like the way I do. Why are you questioning me? Well, I want to go back to that, to have somebody question me because they have somebody not listen to me because I'm black. That's the same thing. Like, I had ideas. We need this and we need that. They wouldn't listen to me. There was one point we was going through some changes. We had this other little gal in there. She moved back in the department. Jen, shout out. Hey, Jen will tell you straight up, we needed some equipment. They wasn't listening to me. I said, Jen, why don't you say it from this angle right here? Shit, we got down there instant confirmation that we're going to get some equipment. I said, see, that's what I'm talking about. So next time we needed something, I slid Jen the entire mental script of what I had already projected and pitched to them. They got a negative. I just handed it to Jen. Jen just tossed it to them. They're like, oh, sure. Yeah. And then I went and said, yeah, I didn't like that shit when I said it, but it's coming from her, and she looked at them and looked at me like, yeah, really? That's literally what we did. And I'm supposed to want to go back into that environment. Woo! Man, I ain't got it in me. And I'm trying to muster it up. So when y'all see me and y'all see I ain't smiling no more, that's because the Aaron y'all remember that was happy and grateful and smiling like that dude, he on vacation somewhere because he can't handle what it is that we finna do. So yeah, that's like an introduction of where I'm at. So when you start seeing and hearing stuff that I project from this physicality, please don't take it lightly. Don't take it personal. Don't take it too seriously, but don't ignore it. And if it really hits you crazy, that means you really need to listen to it. Yo, that silly motherfucker is on to something. He might be. Like that kind of, like, that's the kind of stuff I'd be thinking about. I just want to share with y'all because and part of this is I did just hear it in my mind is misery loves company, and it's not even that I'm miserable. I'm cool, but I'm aware, and that's the company that I want. I want you all to be aware as well. So, and you made it through this whole long. This is the introduction. I'm gonna stop right here. It's 15 minutes, man. If y'all listen to this, man, I love y'all. Chill. Whether you did it in 1 take, 2 takes, how you did it, hey man, I love you, because most folks ain't gonna sit there and listen to you for that long. I appreciate you. I'm just here to share some insight, man. We'll grow and go, and as things progress, we'll do what we need to do when the time comes. But until then, I say live free or die hard.